Probably himself. Okay, so according to the Reddit user FEDart, Elon's average tweets per day, or TPD, is around 67. So, to compete with the tweet master himself, I'm gonna aim for a TPD, tweets per day, around 68 or 70, somewhere in there. Now, you're probably thinking, dang, that's a lot of tweeting. I'm sure he's probably gonna automate that with AI or something. No, that would be too easy, and also make for a really boring video, and I know this might be a kind of controversial take, but I don't really think using AI to create content is very cool. Okay, I need to start tweeting a lot more. I have like 67 more tweets to go. Now, for the first few days, I wanted to start off with some mild leftist political views. This included tweets centered around fair wages. I wonder if Trump's pick for the Department of Labor will expand paid family leave. Oh, sorry, typo. I wonder if Trump's pick for the Department of Labor will abolish the Department of Labor. Climate change. Trump's new pick to run the department in charge of disaster recovery is skeptical of climate change. Climate change. You know, the thing that causes natural disasters. And of course, constant digs at right-wingers on Twitter. I responded to this tweet and said, Allergan's stock just shot up 27%. Shout out to all the little Botox boys out there. Allergan or Allergen is the company that makes Botox, by the way. This tweet had some levels to it, and I don't really think people got it besides me, so that's okay. You know, we're doing our best. We're trying. I think that everything I posted on this first day could have been retweeted by your most basic Democrat or slightly left-leaning person. Can you spot the difference? Department of Defense 2024. Department of Defense 2025. One has a tattoo. So I ended day one with 1 like, 0 followers, and 42 tweets in total. My TPD was a little bit lower than I was aiming for, so I decided I'd just crank it up more the next day. Oh, and the approval of my blue check mark that I already paid for was still pending. I think that once I am approved and get the blue check mark, my posts will be sort of elevated to other accounts. But for now, it seems like they're not really getting too many impressions on the platform. Okay, so slow start to day one, but that was kind of expected with more of the mild leftist takes. So let's crank things up a bit and head on into. All right, day two. This is when I realized that Twitter had become something unrecognizable to what it looked like back in 2020 when I left. Okay, so let's do some more tweeting. If people didn't start families in poverty, the human species would no longer exist. God, I hate Matt Walsh so much. You're such a baby. Of course, there's copious amounts of misinformation and bigotry that, I'll say it, is pretty fun to call out and debunk. This I can't stand. Which country spends the most on healthcare per capita? The United States. But this isn't socialized medicine. This is private medicine. It's not like the government is spending that much. It would be cheaper to have socialized medicine in the US than... Okay, I'm about to respond. Here are the facts. Medicare for all will cost less than our current system. A recent study by Yale epidemiologists found that Medicare for all would save around 68,000 lives a year while reducing U.S. healthcare spending by around 13%, or $450 billion a year. Idiot. Owned that one, rabbit hole. More like stupid idiot hole. But after a while, it all just kind of started to wane on me. Meanwhile, in New Zealand's parliament, what does this even mean? This is just like straight up racist. Anyone else liking this silly pagan? You know, I'm having a lot of fun making this video, but then I spend just like a little too much time on Twitter or see a post that just kind of pushes me over the edge, makes me want to just log off forever. Colonize more. Come on. Like, what do you even say to these people? The indigenous people of New Zealand, the Maori, are just part of Parliament, which makes sense because they are the original people of the island of New Zealand, or the 2 islands. Like, what is wrong with them being part of their own government? Like, if that makes you mad, then like something is wrong with you. That's not normal to be like pissed off at this. I ended up having to throw in the towel for the day and decided to recharge for hopefully a better tomorrow. Has anyone seen Dr. Fauci recently? Someone is looking for him. Oh, whoa. It wasn't better. How's everyone doing out there? It is day 3, and I have some very exciting news to share. I got a new checkmark that I'm paying $16 a month for. So, at the end of day 2, I had about 83 tweets in total. And yeah, I got a little carried away this morning, and I am now at 141 posts total. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm getting a little addicted to the platform. Don't look now, but Trump has quietly put together the most diverse cabinet ever assembled. And then it refers to these women as snacks. So I responded to it and said, the only snack here is RFK's brain worm. Basically what I'm trying to do at this point on day 3 is just crank things up a notch, get a little more triggered when it comes to, you know, responding to these right-wingers, and getting a little more woke. And I think things are working. I'm getting more likes, I'm getting more responses. POV, you're inside RFK Jr.'s brain. Between the election denial and making fun of the disabled, you guys are on track to storm the Capitol on January 6th. LOL. It's spelled capital. Thanks. I always screw that up. Democrats made grandma say goodbye over FaceTime during COVID, and now they're crying about separating the families of allegiance. One rule for life. Always tell communists to shut the fuck up. All the way. I thought they was gonna support families together. Communism must be eradicated. Communism doesn't exist in the U.S., okay? Not like even close. What is with people on the right thinking that communism is like growing like wildfire in the U.S.? It's not. Like, it's so not here. It'd be cool if there were more like socialist policies that we're talking about, but it's not. You don't have to worry about communism at all. I promise you, we're not getting anything close to that. Like, you think Democrats are communists? They're like so pro-capitalist. You think Nancy Pelosi's a communist? She has like one of the best performing portfolios out of like anyone in Congress. Like that doesn't sound very like commie to me. It was around this time when I started to notice something very unexpected. This morning, Stephen King, the horror novelist, left Twitter. My For You page began to flood with hundreds and hundreds of people saying that they were leaving Twitter, tweet after tweet, explaining that they were just fed up with the hate and misinformation that was consuming their timelines. And of course, these announcements came with plenty of commentary from the right, criticizing them for making this decision. So you have tweets like this. I would like to announce that I will not be announcing that I'm leaving Twitter. It's like, dude, it's so cool. Like, everyone on here is so cool and edgy, and you're saying, like, crazy stuff that everyone's like, oh, I can't handle it, you're too woke. Oh, God, you're so cool. That's free, man. I realized that I was witnessing a mass exodus of the platform in real time. Turns out it was the largest exodus since Elon bought it back in 2022. All on the exact same day that I received my beautiful blue check. Which is insane for that to happen this week, because that just leaves one person left on Twitter who is still woke. And it's no Chomsky. I was deep behind enemy lines, and all of my allies were retreating. Pretty soon, no Chomsky would be the last bastion of wokeness able to defend against the dark right. Trying to find light, while getting lost in the dark echo chamber of hate and bigotry. What was one to do? Breaking, Lindsey Graham has come out against Matt Gaetz for AG. Lindsey Graham came out? Alright, it's day 4 and I'm fed up. I'm done with this. I'm about to attack every single right-winger I see. For the first time ever, 2 black women will serve in the United States Senate simultaneously. Identity politics, all the way to the bitter end. It's called democracy, you racist dingleberry. Oh, and I'm not just calling out the right today. No, it is about time I start attacking the Democrats too. Breaking, election security experts have officially asked Biden to do an election recount on Trump's victory. They are citing potential breaches in voting machines. I responded and said, Dems didn't lose because of election interference. Dems lost because they have completely abandoned the middle class. Unless things radically change soon, the party and many politicians within it will always be captured by the corporations that they are indebted to. Oh, and I got a little extra surprise for all 4 of my Twitter followers that I know they're just gonna eat. From each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs. Everyone, please please open your Communist Manifesto to page 1, because it's Marxist. History repeats itself. First is tragedy, second is farce. Welcome to the farce. Democrats can't be the pro-labor party while also being backed by billionaire donors. Again, just talking about transgender people, like 50% of all the posts on this platform is something centered around trans people, but in a very negative light, obviously. They can't wrap their head around it for some reason. I just can't imagine like walking down the street, seeing someone who is trans and having like a visceral reaction like they do. It's so like messed up. Like there's something broken in their brains. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a little triggered, so I ended up responding to a lot of people today. Imagine ever believing a 60-year-old man would win a professional boxing match. Come on, guys. Imagine believing your dumbass movie could win an Oscar. Come on, guys. So much so that my current total number of tweets is at 221. That's an average TPD of 55, which is still somehow less than Elon's. I actually don't understand how he has time to rattle off so many tweets every day. I guess running a car, rocket, satellite, and social media company, all while being the stand-in first lady, is actually pretty easy. He moves like a 40-pound toddler with a full diaper. Time to torment Elon until he disables my account. What's up? It's day 5. This is my final day, so this is the big push until the end. And I think we can get it done. Population collapse. It's so funny that they're like so pro population growth, but at the same time they're anti-immigration. Like, which one is it? The woke don't believe in equality or giving people equal rights. They want special privileges for certain groups and minorities, and they want to kill or enslave all white people. It's really that simple. Source?
Yeah, they really do hate white people. I remember feeling self-hate for being white when I was a liberal. They really do hate us and seek to make us hate ourselves. This is wrong, and they are evil for doing this.
They do, and I'm tired of pretending they don't. Were you pretending that they didn't? You seemed pretty open about it before. Based. Agree. I concur. Very important we stand firm without demonizing. Think in situations like we are in. We stay smart, strong, and keep the light bright with love. But know when to say no for the common good. Eventually they will join our faster until they wither, humble at all times. Jesus Christ. We are dealing with adult children, so a firm, consistent no. No, maybe. The bright light of love feels very hateful sometimes. Do you support Tom Homan conducting worksite raids for illegal immigrants?
This is tricky, because this will also hurt businesses as well. They should focus on the troubles first and work their way to work sites. This gives people to get their affairs together. What are you talking about, Dada?
Yeah, it will hurt businesses. Why did you vote for the deportation of 30 million people?
It's not that tricky. It is simple. Do not enter this nation illegally. No excuses. Our immigration system has worked just fine since its inception. It needs no reform. It needs absolute enforcement. Agreed, but do we go after those who are not harming others first, or take out the bad first?
They have no idea what they're talking about. We are watching Dada come to the realization that the deportation of every illegal migrant in the country actually hurts businesses. Because he's actually starting to have to think about it now when people are asking questions and talking about actual policy. And now he's like,
now that I have to think about it a little bit harder, I'm starting to realize that, wait, maybe this might negatively impact me and others in the country. Illegal is illegal. They all have to go.
What they are saying is there should be a priority list. Do you want them to go after illegal gangs that are murdering Americans, or the guy in the back of the kitchen who's done nothing wrong since arriving here first? Start with the violent criminals, then proceed. Do they realize that they're talking like an SS officer? This is so dumb. Costco shrank its seasonal toy aisle by 50% this year. Depressing.
The signs of a declining birth rate are becoming increasingly stark.
You don't think toy sales are down because, I don't know, kids having iPads and phones? Maybe just playing with toys less?
Legends.
Trump is pro-tariff and Malay is anti-tariff. Which do you like more? Because their economic plans are starkly different. He's probably going to respond and be like,
Malay? You mean like the vacuum cleaner?
oh, we got Jordan Peterson showing up on my timeline. Perfect.
The more you care for others, the stronger you become.
You're a little baby boo-boo. Now it was time to wait and see if I got reported by anyone I happened to piss off along the way. In total, I tweeted 278 times, leading to an average TPD of 55.6. A total of 15 accounts replied to me, and I received 21 likes and 5 followers. Now, while looking back and analyzing my Noam Chomsky profile, I realized that all of my tweets that were actually focused on leftist progressive rhetoric would only receive like 5 to 10 views. Now, of course, it takes time to organically grow any account on any social media platform. But Elon's Twitter seemed to only reward me when I was either fighting with someone or calling other users racist and dumb, which they are. And I would be lying if I said I didn't have a lot of fun doing that. But for any new user joining this free speech platform, it seems like they are almost incentivized to immediately start disagreeing with someone right off the bat, because those posts get the most traction. And yeah, I know that any controversial or hateful take will always get more attention on any social media platform. That's just how modern day algorithms work. But as I was making this video, a new study published by the Queensland University of Technology literally yesterday found that after Elon's endorsement of Trump on July 13th, 2024, Musk's post received 138% more views and 238% more retweets than before that date. This research paper, along with reports from the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post, suggests that Twitter adjusted its algorithm to specifically boost not only Elon's, but other right-leaning accounts on the platform. With all of this information, I feel like Elon has just created a safe place for hateful people to say whatever they want with absolutely no consequences or backlash. Even if you agree with some of the far-right takes on Twitter, I just don't see how only being exposed to that is good for your mental health. I mean, everyone on there who is only consuming that type of content all day long must be genuinely so unhappy. I find it really ironic how the right-wingers on here will constantly talk about free speech and how the left want to censor them, when the only media they consume is propaganda. And all that right-wing propaganda does is embolden an easily manipulated base into voting for more populist politicians who only care about their own self-interest. They want you to be scared of illegal migrants and trans people so you have someone to blame for why you're not happy. They're never going to follow through with a policy that would positively impact your material life. They don't care about you. And the thing is, I bet you didn't even make it this far into the video. You probably commented that I was a soy boy idiot and then clicked off. Because Elon Musk, yes, I am talking directly to you now, you don't have to ban me from Twitter, because I'm going to do it myself. Oh, and one more thing. X is a really dumb name. See y'all on Blue Sky, libtard.
Nothing ever happens aside from genocide. One interesting thing is that COP29 happened in Azerbaijan, the funniest thing in the world, and all the organizers got found out as like using the opportunity of the like yearly climate conference to like sell oil contracts for Azerbaijani oil. Ha 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 ha! Great, epic, fantastic. One of my favorite things about climate change is how we were already like years ago, but now every day that goes by without what needs to be done being done, we're even more fucked. It's fantastic. I wonder if you guys realize how fucked we are, and no one's talking about it anymore because everyone just resigned to the end. The whole barrier that like the Paris Agreement was set up to avoid has already happened, and no one, not like one single country aside from tiny micronations has abided by their obligations under that agreement. Fantastic. everything's just going on like normal. Like the world needed to band together to fight climate change like 20 years ago at the latest. And it's a bit too late for that now, isn't it? We will beat climate change, said XDefiant 3 years ago. Well, turns out we won't actually. It turns out that when you need a bunch of global governments to band together and all do things that might not like immediately benefit corporations, but which would be better for the world in the long run, they don't do it. Who could have seen that coming in the international system that we presently have? I never could have told you that would happen. But and on the bright side, when enough people are killed by the effects of climate change, eventually less CO2 will be emitted into the atmosphere to the point where, like, if you give it a couple hundred years, temperatures go down again. At least is that. I found it very funny, like, people who were like trying to beat you over the head with voting for the Democrats, even if they do genocide, tried to use the climate change talking point a couple of times. And even if you look at like the Democrat climate change plan, it was literally just so bad, so inadequate, and involved absolutely nothing meaningful regarding like helping the rest of the world to stop climate change, which is something that the rich countries have had to do for like 20 years now and never actually did. Like the difference between that and just like letting Donald Trump go hog wild and burning all the coal that he could ever want to like power the gas chamber and furnace that he has in Mar-a-Lago where he's going to put leftists in. Like the difference was so minor, so small that it's so imperceptible. It's not going to do anything meaningful. But they framed it as like the greatest climate package the world has ever seen. If that's the greatest climate package the world has ever seen, like if your incredible climate policy that you're presenting as like this one of a kind, like incredible thing that no one's ever done before is so bad that that's the result of it, that like if every single other country in the world did the exact same thing, we'd still be fucked, then yeah, that is about as good of an indication of just how fucked we are as you could ever possibly imagine. It's okay, because at the end of the day, we will like write on like stone tablets for future generations. When the world needed to band together the most, what we did instead was kill people and ship weapons there so they could be killed better. And then at the end of the tablet, it will be written, the best thing to do is probably to go in a cave and never leave, and do not interact with anyone from any other group. Do not develop agriculture again. Do not form societies. Stay in the jungle. Don't make the mistakes that we did. Basically, Ted Kaczynski, except with gay sex.
My name is Detective Garcia. Hello. From the Romero Police Department. This is Detective Wagner.
Hello.
I know you know what's going on and why you were here. Okay? I know you were talking on the phone with your husband right now.
Husband or boyfriend?
Okay. Does he live here with you? How long have you guys been together?
2015.
Okay. We're investigating a murder. Okay. So we have in our possession some phones, okay? And in those phones, we're doing what it's called a phone dump. So what happens is if anybody's talking on a text app that you can download, for example, Text Now, we can retrieve those messages.
Okay.
We have retrieved those messages, all right? We've read them. We're pretty clear that somebody's pretty upset at the victim, okay? Is there any way that these text messages are gonna come back to you? Or your name, or your phone, or anything associated with that?
We'd like to speak with you in person. Are you okay with that? Sure. Do you want me to walk away?
Wherever you're comfortable. Wherever you're comfortable, right?
Well, don't say one now.
Oh yeah, but we're out front of the house and back there, right? I'm not saying go in the house, but we can talk with you out over here. If you're okay with that, we can go over by my car if you like.
I need to have a jacket.
Okay.
This is Ermelinda Palomo. She lives in Streamwood, Illinois with her fiancé, Nathaniel Huey Jr. It's September 18th, 2023, and Romero police are trying to get more information from Ermelinda about Nathaniel.
Okay. have a seat in the front, passenger?
That's all right.
I want him to come out. Ermalina, do you mind if we drive down the street? If he comes out, he's probably going to tell you to go back inside. Are you going to do that, or what do you want to do?
Well, you guys obviously have me. You can't really say much, right?
Well, it's what we want to talk to you alone, separate from him. That's what we're trying to make sure that you're safe.
Please, go by the park.
Sure.
Down that way? Okay. Do you want to... What I'm going to do is I just got to document mileage and stuff. Okay? And we're going to use... We got body cams on. Just tell me where we go. You want to text them?
It's all right. It's not all right.
Tools. Tool Academy. Yep, you know it. God, I need a new intro. So just.
To my YouTube channel. My name is Ariana Jasmine, and today we're going to be talking about the date right stuff guy. He's a guy on TikTok that is very annoying, but he also has an annoying past too. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment for more videos like this one. Let's get into it. What is date right stuff, you may ask? Basically, if you're conservative and you want to meet a fine conservative man or lady, not non-binary because they don't believe that exists, you can find that on date right stuff. So this is the mastermind behind date right stuff, and across from the very spotty past and present that he has, he basically comes on here and he does these like little quick bits that are like really stupid, and he's like always eating. You just have to watch it for you to understand.
Why is it that if the government finds diamonds or oil in your backyard, it's government property, but if they find drugs, it's yours? Messed up.
See what I mean?
So I can't have an opinion on abortion because I don't have a uterus, but I can be a woman without one? Got it.
This is basically his whole entire thing. It's his whole entire shtick. This is a 40-year-old man on TikTok, and basically he does like these gotcha things. Like every TikTok is just like a gotcha.
Now that Trump won, can we go back to calling them the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians? Thanks.
Okay, that one was just like flat out racist. That one was just flat out racist.
Now that Trump won, can we get Aunt Jemima back on the bottle, please?
Wow, this is gross. Also, he had a comment that said, I swear it tastes better with Aunt Jemima on it, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. Like, who would say that? Literally, it's the same shit. Also, Aunt Jemima was like very much taken advantage of. She didn't even get any kind of compensation for being like the brand name.
Now that the majority of Americans agree liberals have lost their minds, can we also agree every major dating